Hi, Assalamualaikum. I am Teacher Fatehah. For today's presentation, I will share about types of grasp and pinch according to age. So let's get started. First of all, I will start with the definition. So grasp and pinch patterns are the coordinated movements the hand use to pick up and hold objects. These patterns affect how people learn and interact with the environment. They have a significant effect on how people participate in functional activities. Grabs and pinch pattern can influence the level of independence of a person having their daily life activities. Grasp and pinch patterns or fine motor skills are the foundation that will later allow the children to write or use a computer mouse. The child will usually start to develop a pincher grasp around 9 months of age. However, this may be different depending on the child's unique development. So as you can see here are the table of the grabs and pinch development according to their age. So at 4 to 6 months years old, they will have a full hand grabs development, beginning with a few fingers and eventually using the thumb to hold an object. Some of the example are ulnar palmar grabs, and radial grabs. As you can see here are the example of the illustration of the grabs. So at the age of 4 months old, they will develop ulnar palmar grabs. This grasp is the first step towards baby's grip. They will hold an object that we give to them in their palm while gently wrapping one or two fingers, excluding their thumb, around it. They won't have a strong grip on the object at this point, so it may roll away from their hand. Next, during the 5 months old, they will develop palmar grabs. So the palmar grabs is a full hand grabs where the baby has a little more control of the object. They will center it more in their hand and will wrap all of their fingers, again excluding the thumb, around it. During 6 months old, they will develop radial grabs. So around this age, baby will start using their thumb to help hold an object in their hand. However, their thumb will be more of a support system for the object to lean against than part of their grips, while the other fingers will do most of the grasping. Next, during 7 to 8 months, they will attempt to pick up object using a raking method. Some of the grabs are raking grabs and radial digital grabs. Here are the illustration of the grabs. As you can see here, at 7 months old, they will develop raking grabs. Around 7 months old, baby will attempt to pick up objects on their own using a raking method. We will see them reaching out and move their arms in a raking motion to try to pull it closer and grab. They will usually spread out their fingers and contract them to close around the object, strengthening their muscle with each movement. Next, at 8 months old, they will develop radial digital grabs. The radial digital grasp is similar to the pincher grasp but without as much refinement. The baby will use the pads of their thumb and other fingers to grab and hold an object. During their 9 to 10 months old, they will use tips of thumbs and index fingers to pick up and hold objects. Example of the grabs are inferior pincher grabs and pincher grabs. So during 9 months old, they will develop inferior pincher grabs. So the inferior pincher grabs is like the radial digital grabs, except now that the baby will be able to use only their thumb and index finger to hold a toy. They will still use the pads of their fingers rather than the tips. Next, during the 10 months old, they will develop pincher grabs. So the pincher grabs is a significant milestone for babies to conquer. The baby use the tips of their thumb and the index finger to pick up and hold objects, will, which will eventually help them with everything from feeding themselves to zipping a jacket. Because these grabs use more refined movement than others. It's also beneficial for strengthening hand, fingers, and wrist muscle and coordinating their movement to further fine motor skill. At 12 to 24 months, they will begin to build and scribble and will continue to refine this movement. During 25 to 36 months, they will develop mastering grip, where they can trace shapes on paper and use scissors. There are five patterns of grabs, as you can see here. The first one is the gross grabs, where all fingers and thumb wrap around the handle of an object. Example, a baseball player use gross grab to hold on to the baseball bat. Secondly is the power grabs, where the thumb helps to stabilize the shaft of the tool rather than opposing the fingers. Example, a carpenter uses a power grabs to hold a hammer while building. Next one is the hook grabs, where the fingers hook around an object with or without added stability from the thumb. Example, a businessman used a hook grabs to carry his briefcase. Next one is the spherical grabs, where the thumb and fingers form a cup shape to grasp a round object. Example, a child used a spherical grasp to hold and eat an apple, or a child used a spherical grasp to hold a ball and to throw them. Last, last grasp pattern is the conoid grabs, where the thumb and fingers opposed to hold a cone shaped object with the apex of the cone at the ulnar side of the palm. Example, a woman holds an ice cream cone while her child eats it. Next, there are four patterns of pinch. The first one is lateral pinch, where the thumb pushes against the side of the index finger to secure an object. For example, a man used lateral pinch to hold his car keys while starting his car. Next one, palmar pinch, where the thumb opposes against the tips of the index and middle fingers to secure a small object. Example, a child used palmar pinch to pick up and place a and push small building blocks together. Next one is the tip pinch, where the thumb opposes the tip of a finger, usually the index finger, to secure a small object. For example, a woman used tip pinch to pull out a pin out of a pin cushion. Lastly, a trapper grabs. It is when the shaft of the tool is held by the tip of the thumb and index finger and stabilized by the side of the middle finger. For example, a child used a tripod grabs to hold his pencil while writing the alphabet. And that's all from me. Thank you for listening.